Kate, the fate of the forest rests on your shoulders. You must go now and retrieve.
The forest was silent, but the darkness inside it moved like something alive. Deep in that darkness, Kate knelt before the Queen Mother, a spirit older than any kingdom. Her voice trembled. I will bring more souls to you, my Queen Mother. I promise I will not fail. The Queen Mother's eyes glowed like burning charcoal. Go, my daughter. I know you cannot fail me. At once, Kate's body twisted, melted, and then reshaped, from a monstrous shadow to a beautiful woman with glowing skin, long black hair, and the face of an innocent angel. Anyone who saw her would think she needed help. But she was not looking for help. She was looking for a soul. She stepped out of the forest road and stood there like a stranded traveler, hugging a tiny purse that carried nothing but a spell. Her eyes glowed faintly. Anyone who looked too long would feel weak. Far away in Abuja, inside a luxurious hotel full of loud music and flashing lights, two young men, Dave and Jude, were enjoying their weekend. Drinks everywhere, girls dancing, people shouting, the smell of perfume and cigarettes mixing in the air. Jude was dancing like he had no worry in life, but Dave sat down, rubbing his eyes. Guy, I'm tired. I want to go home and sleep, Dave said. Jude shook his head. Sleep, Kay? This is weekend. Let's enjoy small. We fit stay till 2 a.m. now. But Dave insisted. They go. Minutes later, the two friends staggered out of the hotel, laughing, still holding their bottles as they entered Dave's black Lexus Jeep. They didn't know that something evil was patiently waiting for them on the lonely road ahead. Dave drove too fast, music shaking the car, alcohol controlling his mind. Jude danced inside the car, bottle in one hand, head rocking. Then Jude pointed suddenly. Guy, see fine girl there. Dave slowed the car. He saw her, Kate, standing alone, looking scared, hugging her small purse. Ah, she's beautiful, Dave whispered. His heart, clouded by alcohol and loneliness, beat faster. They parked. Dave walked towards her. Hey, what are you doing here by this time? Kate lowered her eyes, pretending to cry. Some men stopped me, they stole my car, my phone, everything. Her voice was soft like wind. Jude looked at her purse suspiciously. If them thief everything, why you still get purse? Kate froze. For a second, her eyes changed, just a second, but Jude noticed. Before she could talk, Dave jumped in. Forget that thing, Jude. At least she's safe. Maybe they didn't see the purse. Jude felt something was wrong, but Dave was already lost in her beauty. Kate smiled. A smile too perfect to be human. And before Jude could convince him otherwise, Dave opened the car door and invited danger into his life. Kate entered. And the road behind them became silent again, as if waiting for the next victim. The drive to Dave's house felt strange, even though he couldn't explain it. The air inside the car became cold, almost too cold for a normal Abuja night. Jude kept glancing at Kate from the back seat, watching her silently stare at the road like she was seeing something none of them could see. When they reached Jude's street, he stepped out slowly. Before closing the door, Jude whispered to Dave. Guy, shine your eyes. Something about this girl no clear. Dave laughed. You do worry. Go rest Jare. Jude shook his head and walked away. He didn't know this would be the last night he would ever warn his friend again. Dave continued driving with Kate sitting beside him. The car was quiet, too quiet, until Kate suddenly smiled. Thank you for helping me, she whispered. Dave felt warm inside. No problem. My house no far. But as they got closer, Kate's smile slowly faded, and her eyes turned empty again, like she was not fully present. When they arrived, Dave opened the door for her. You can freshen up. Bathroom is over there, he said. Kate walked into the bathroom gently. But the moment the door locked, her soft voice changed. A deep, ancient voice came from inside. Queen Mother, I have entered the house. The soul is mine. Dave heard something, a whisper, but he shrugged it off. Maybe she's just talking to herself, he muttered, trying to ignore the chill running down his spine. Minutes passed. Kate walked out, looking even more beautiful than before, like she had taken a bath in magical water. Dave's heart melted. You look, wow. Kate smiled softly. Thank you, Dave. They talked a little. She lied about being tired and needing sleep, and Dave gave her the guest room. But even as he lay in his own bed, he couldn't forget the strange voice. Who was she speaking to? Why did her voice sound different? He pushed the thoughts aside and slept. Dave woke up early and prepared breakfast. When Kate walked into the kitchen, she didn't greet like a normal person. She just appeared behind him silently. Dave jumped. Ah, you scared me. Come, let's go buy you clothes later today. Kate shook her head slowly. I don't need clothes. Her tone was cold, final. Dave frowned. How you no need clothes? You only get the one you are wearing. Kate forced a smile. It's fine. I'm okay. But deep inside, she wasn't okay. She wasn't here for clothes or comfort. She was here for a mission. Far away in the forest, the Queen Mother watched through dark water. Her voice echoed. Why haven't you finished him? Your time is running. Kate bowed her head before the unseen spirit. I will do it, just give me time. Later in the afternoon, Dave's phone rang. Guy, how far? That girl still at your house? Jude asked teasingly. Dave laughed. Forget. I go take my time with this one. Maybe I go make her my girlfriend. But Jude was not laughing. Dave, listen to me. I know wetin I see yesterday. That girl. Chill a beg, Dave interrupted. He didn't want advice. He wanted love. But Jude was right. Something in that house wasn't human. And very soon, Dave would see it clearly. Days passed, and Kate was still in Dave's house. She acted polite, calm, and gentle, but everything about her felt perfect. Dave didn't notice the strange things happening, but Jude did. One afternoon, Dave asked her, Kate, tell me about your family. She didn't blink. My father is the #1 billionaire in Abuja. He owns many big companies. Dave's eyes widened. Serious? Kate nodded confidently. But she never mentioned a name. No company list. No address. Nothing. Dave didn't ask further. Love had already blinded him. A few days later, Jude came to visit. He didn't tell Dave why, he just needed to see the girl again. Something in his spirit kept warning him. Dave welcomed him excitedly. Guy, you just show like this. Jude smiled weakly and walked into the sitting room where Kate sat quietly. They all began eating. Dave ate loudly. Jude ate slowly. But Kate didn't lift her spoon. Yet her food kept reducing. Jude watched closely. Every time he blinked, the food on her plate dropped again, but he never saw her hand move. His heart beat faster. He whispered to Dave. Guy, look her plate. She never touched spoon, but the food don't they finish. Dave sighed. Jude, a big stop. But Jude kept watching Kate. At one point, she looked up at him with eyes that didn't look human at all, eyes that were too deep, too dark, too ancient. Jude quickly looked away. One evening, while Dave and Jude were talking, Kate walked past them. Suddenly, all the lights flickered. Dave thought it was electricity. But Jude froze. Dave, did you see her shadow? Dave frowned. What about it? Jude swallowed hard. Omo, her shadow no match her body. Dave laughed too loudly. Guy, you don't start again. But deep in his heart, a small fear started growing, even though he kept ignoring it. Later that night, Dave walked into the bathroom and found Kate standing motionless, staring at the mirror. Her face was expressionless. Kate, are you okay? She turned slowly. Do slowly. I'm fine. But her voice echoed like she was speaking from inside a cave. Dave shivered. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. But before he could ask anything else, she smiled sweetly, the same sweet smile that always melted his fear. And Dave convinced himself again that he was overthinking. Jude left that night and stood outside the gate, breathing heavily. His instincts screamed at him. He called Dave immediately. Dave, I beg hear me. Something is after you. That girl is not normal. That first night you picked her, that was not coincidence. Dave brushed him off again. You don't watch too many movies. But Jude was shaking. Dave, listen to me, before something happens. Dave ended the call. He didn't know those would be the last real words Jude ever said to him. For 2 days, Jude didn't call. Dave thought maybe he was busy, or angry because he ignored his warnings. But on the third day, Dave felt uneasy. Something in his spirit kept troubling him. He dialed Jude's number. Ringing, no answer. He called again. Still no answer. Dave smiled weakly. Maybe he did sleep. But deep down, fear was rising. Later that evening, Dave called again. Same thing. On the second night, Dave couldn't sleep. He kept checking his phone every few minutes. Kate noticed. She sat beside him gently. Why are you worried? Dave sighed. It's Jude, he hasn't picked his calls for 2 days. Kate's expression didn't change. Maybe he is fine. He will call. But something in her tone felt strange, almost careless. Dave stood up. I'm going to his house tomorrow morning. Kate's eyes flashed dark for a moment. Why? Dave frowned. He's my friend. I need to check him. Kate forced a smile. Okay. But come back quickly. The way she said it, it wasn't concern. It was control. The next day, Dave drove straight to Jude's apartment. He knocked. No answer. He pushed the door, it opened easily. The room was quiet. Boo quiet. The air felt heavy. Dave called out softly. Jude? Jude. No response. He entered the bedroom. And froze. Jude was lying on the bed. Eyes closed. Face calm. No wounds. No struggle. Just, gone. Dave stumbled back, breathing fast. Jude. Jude, wake up. Guy, stop this thing. But Jude didn't move. He touched his skin, cold. Cold. He wasn't sleeping. He was dead. Dave fell to the floor, shaking. The world around him felt unreal. But, he wasn't sick, he didn't complain, he didn't. Tears rolled down his cheeks. That was when he noticed something strange on Jude's pillow, a small patch of black dust. Almost like charcoal, crushed into powder. He touched it and felt a sharp sting in his finger, like something hot. Dave pulled back immediately. Fear swept through his whole body. Who did this? What killed Jude? Why no sign of struggle? His mind returned to Kate. Her strange behavior. Her lies. Her shadow. Her voice in the bathroom. Dave stood up slowly. Breathing shaking. Hands trembling. He needed answers. Dave drove home, tears drying on his face. His heart was pounding as he entered the house. Kate sat in the living room smiling gently. You look tired, she said. Dave swallowed hard. Jude is dead. Kate didn't gasp. Didn't cry. Didn't look surprised. Instead, she whispered calmly. Good. Dave blinked in shock. Good? Are you serious? Kate looked up at him with cold eyes. He was disturbing things. Now everything will be fine. Dave stepped back slowly. His heart felt like it stopped beating. Everything Jude said. Every warning. Every strange thing he saw. It all made sense now. Kate was not human. He felt his chest tighten. His legs weak. He knew he had to escape. But Kate stood up slowly, blocking the door. Her voice dropped into a dark tone Dave had never heard before. Dave, you are not going anywhere. The room became colder. The lights flickered. Her shadow stretched across the floor like a living creature. Dave's blood ran cold. He was trapped. Dave's legs weakened as Kate stepped closer. The warmth in the room faded until the air felt like ice touching his skin. Her voice wasn't soft anymore. It sounded old, ancient, layered with something not human. Dave, sit down. He shook his head. No, no, Kate, please, what are you? She smiled, but not with her lips. Her eyes did the smiling, like to dark holes full of secrets. Sit down. Dave tried to run toward the door, but suddenly the door slammed shut on its own. Boom. He jumped back in fear. Kate didn't touch it. She just watched him with calm, deadly confidence. As Dave stepped backward, he saw it. Kate's shadow on the wall did not match her movement. When she moved left, her shadow moved right. When she stood still, her shadow trembled like a living creature breathing heavily. Dave held his chest. Kate, please, what did you do to Jude? She tilted her head slowly. Do slowly. He knew too much. He saw too much. He talked too much. Dave gasped. You killed him. Kate laughed lightly. A hollow sound. Killed? No. I only collected what my mother sent me for. Dave didn't understand, but he knew it was evil. Stay away from me, please. Kate walked forward. The lights flickered again. Her feet weren't touching the ground anymore. She was floating slightly above it. Dave stumbled back into a chair. His hands shook uncontrollably. Kate leaned close to him. Her beautiful face shifted. For a split second, Dave saw the real form behind the mask. A face covered in ancient markings. Eyes burning red. Teeth sharper than human. Then it vanished. She looked normal again. Boo normal. My mother sent me to Abuja for one purpose. To bring souls. And Dave. She touched his chest with one cold finger. You are the next one. Dave pushed her hand away and ran to the corner. He grabbed his phone, but it burst into flames in his hand. Kate didn't blink. No calls. Dave wasn't just afraid anymore. He was shaking like someone standing inside a freezer. Fear gave him a new idea. He needed to pretend. If he fought her, he would die immediately. So he wiped his tears and forced a shaky smile. Okay, Kate, sit. Let's talk. She paused. Her head turned slightly as if she was listening to something invisible whispering behind her. Then she smiled. Good. She sat down elegantly, like nothing evil just happened. Dave joined her, still trembling. Kate. I love you. I don't want problems. She smiled again. Good boy. Dave nodded, pretending. Inside, he was screaming. That night, when Kate went to bathe, Dave heard her voice again. This time, he pressed his ear to the bathroom door. Her real voice returned, dark and echoing. Mother. Jude's soul is gone. Dave is next. Yes. I will finish him. Dave's heart almost burst out of his chest. He stepped back quietly. He needed help. Desperately. But how do you escape a woman who can lock doors with her mind? Burn phones? And talk to spirits? His only hope was someone Kate didn't expect. Someone from his past. Someone who knew things. Dave barely slept that night. Every sound, every movement from Kate made his heart jump. She slept beside him, peaceful like an angel. But her shadow on the wall twisted like something alive. Dave stayed awake, staring at the ceiling, praying silently inside his mind. He needed help, but from who? His phones were destroyed. His laptop refused to turn on. Even when he tried writing a note on paper, the pen dried instantly. Kate controlled everything in the house. He was slowly becoming a prisoner. Around midnight, Dave finally drifted off, but he wasn't fully asleep. Then he saw something, a vision. Jude. Yes. Jude stood before him, looking sad and weak. His voice echoed like a whisper. Dave, run. She is not human. If you don't leave, you will join me. Dave tried to speak, but Jude held up a hand. Help is coming. Someone who knows the truth. But you must stay alive until he arrives. Then Jude touched Dave's chest. A burning feeling shot through him. Dave jerked awake, sweating. Was it a dream? Or a warning? Before he could think further, he heard the doorbell. Ding dong. Dave froze. Kate was still sleeping peacefully beside him. Who could be at the door this early? Ding dong. Ding dong. The person knocked harder. Dave slowly stood up and tiptoed to the door. He opened it slightly, and gasped.